Hello everybody, thanks for joining me. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be talking about Creed's Green Irish Tweed and comparing it to the Perfume Parlour cologne. Stay tuned to FM. Green Irish Tweed is a classic Creed fragrance. It came out way back in 1985, so it's not a new fragrance, but it's many people's signature scent. It's very popular, right up there with Creed's Aventus. And it's said to evoke the feelings and smells of walking through the Irish countryside. So, let's take a look at the notes. Top notes: iris, verbena. Middle notes: violet leaf. Base notes: sandalwood and ambergris. Green Irish Tweed is a lovely scent. On the opening you get a lovely lemony, fresh zestiness. We also have some violet leaf, some iris in there, some sandalwood and ambergris, and those notes are all present, but it's really that fresh lemony zestiness that's there on the opening for a good hour or two, and I think that's why Green Irish Tweed sometimes is said to evoke the feeling of freshly cut grass. It's a very distinctive scent. It does smell very similar to Cool Water. I used to wear Cool Water when I was younger. We're talking 16, 17. It was my go-to fragrance for a number of years before I moved on to Jean Paul Gaultier La Malle. But Cool Water does smell like a bit of a cheaper fragrance, which it is, so you would expect that. It smells a little bit more synthetic, a bit more linear. Green Irish Tweed is a smoother, slightly more complex scent, and you get the sense that the ingredients are higher quality. Green Irish Tweed could work for any age group really. If you're younger and a bit more cost conscious, then Cool Water's probably the one to go for. It does smell very similar and it's a lot less expensive. In terms of its versatility, Green Irish Tweed can be worn for any occasion. It's a great day scent, gym scent, date night scent, formal scent. It's one of those scents that just really is very versatile, much in the same way that Creed's Aventus is. I would probably put this as number 3 in my top 3 Creeds. Number 1 has got to be the King Aventus. I just love that fragrance. Number 2, I really enjoy Creed Viking, quite a new one. But I would wear Creed Viking more often than Green Irish Tweed, although I would still reach for this one sometimes as well. So I mentioned that Cool Water was a very similar smell to this fragrance. Well, there's another one, and the name of this one is even more similar. It's called Green Ireland Tweed, and it's from the brilliant Perfume Parlour. As you know, I own a lot of fragrances from Perfume Parlour. I think what they do is fantastic. And let's just talk a little bit about how Perfume Parlour are managing to replicate all these expensive designer and niche scents. They're using a chemical process called gas chromatography. And what that allows them to do is reverse engineer the fragrance. So they can take the original, break it down to its constituent components and build the fragrance back up. And they can do this quite cheaply, quite effectively. They're using perfume oils. So when you do spray the Perfume Parlour oils on the skin, for the first half an hour there is a slight oiliness present on the skin, which isn't present on the original. But in terms of the scents, they're very, very similar. So what I'm going to do is an opening sniff test for both these two fragrances and compare them side by side. 2 hours ago I sprayed this hand with Green Irish Tweed and this hand with Green Ireland Tweed. So after we've tested the opening, I'll come back to the dry down. So I sprayed these about 10 minutes ago, just to give chance for the alcohol to die down a little bit. Green Irish Tweed, Green Ireland Tweed. So let's have an initial smell. Okay, so these smell pretty much the same. I don't quite get a good sense of how great Green Irish Tweed is by smelling it off the scent strips. I have to say, I get a much better scent off the skin, and you find that with a lot of fragrances. The skin warms the fragrance up a little bit more, it projects better, and it changes the structure of the fragrance. It's always better to test on skin if you can. Let's have another smell. So we're getting that lovely fresh lemony zestiness from the verbena on Green Irish Tweed, and you really do get the image of that freshly cut grass. Yeah, and Perfume Parlour's version, as far as I can tell off these scent strips, to me is pretty much the same. If I was to put a percentage on, I'd probably have to go 99%, if not 100%. There's not a lot of difference between these two at all, and certainly People out there would not be able to tell the difference. If you told someone you were wearing Green Irish Tweed, they would not know that you were wearing Green Ireland Tweed unless you told them. Let's have a little look at the dry down comparison. So, Green Irish Tweed, I love the dry down of this. You lose a little bit of that verbena lemony smell, a little bit of that freshness. It's still there. It's a little bit more subtle than on the initial opening, and a bit of the sweetness of the sandalwood and the ambergris coming through. And it does dry down into a lovely smooth fragrance, smoother than the opening. The opening's quite sharp, it pings off the skin, it's zesty, but it does blend down and dry down into a slightly sweeter fragrance. So let's see if Perfume Parlour's Green Ireland Tweed does the same thing. Yeah, when I smell it that close to my hand, when my nose goes right up to my hand, I am getting slight hints of the oil used in the Perfume Parlour formulations, but that's only because I'm smelling it so up close. It's a lovely dry down as well. Yeah, really nice. I can highly recommend Green Ireland Tweed. So as usual with the Perfume Parlour clones, it's a great one. Perfume Parlour do really well with the creeds that I've tested. I could highly recommend you getting it from Perfume Parlour. I paid about £5 for this 50ml bottle. There are other sizes available. You also have the roll-on oils available. So which one to buy? Well, as ever, that's down to you. If you're a collector and you love having the satisfaction and the prestige of owning the bottles, and they are gorgeous bottles, then you would have to go for the original. It is pricey, you are spending a lot of money on the Creed fragrances, but if you can afford it, treat yourself. If you just want to replicate the scent of Green Irish Tweed, then Green Ireland Tweed is a very, very cheap way of going out there into the world and smelling exactly the same. For most people, that would be the main consideration. So if you're one of those people, give the Perfume Parlour version a try, buy a smaller size. If you don't agree with my review, or if it works differently off your skin, which it may well do, that's always something to consider, then you haven't spent a lot of money. On the other hand, if you buy the Perfume Parlour version and you really fall in love with the fragrance, you might very well want to then go out there and buy an actual bottle of Green Irish Tweed and have it sitting on your shelf. So whether you're already in love with Green Irish Tweed or you were just thinking about trying it, I hope this video has been informative and helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying putting the content out for you, and thanks for all your comments. It's great to chat to everybody who's watching. It really makes it all seem worthwhile. Please like, comment, subscribe, keep tuning into FM, and keep smelling good.